Hello, everybody, and happy Saturday, happy weekend. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today, I am blessed with a lot of sunshine. So, coming to you from the beach. Super excited for today's call with Dr. Clint G. Rogers. Hi, Clint.
Hey, I like feeling like I'm on the beach too. I'm in India. It's 8:30 p.m., but you look like you're just ready for a holiday.
I know, I'm so blessed. It feels really good. It's been raining terribly for a while, and now we get a little sunshine, and it's actually warm. And I usually, if you see me walking the dog in the mornings, I have my big hoodie with literally the like snow coat on. And that's what I
Uh,
looked like this morning. And right now I get to enjoy this beautiful sunshine, and I'm hoping that it has the same effect on all our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. For those tuning in on Facebook, hello, welcome. Please, some housekeeping items. We know our VIP members who are signed up to www.hackmankind.com. You have backstage access and can ask Clint all your questions while we are on this call together. You just head on over to the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and then you can also use the chat function just to chat with us and say hello and share your comments. On Facebook, I encourage you to do the same. I'll try and keep an eye on both of them, and we'll go from there. So I am going to give the word to you, Clint, so we can get started. And I just want to know what's been true for you since our last call, your insights, I would say, or maybe your little...
That cut off just at the end of what you said, insights, or what was that last word you said?
distinctions.
Oh, distinctions. Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say I so much love the people who are asking such good questions. And I keep hearing from people that are watching these recordings. So whether we're watching live or watching the recordings, people are having real beautiful experiences from Hack Mankind and from these calls on spirituality. And so I think you can even get more out of it the more you participate. So today, for those who are listening, I just want to say I'm real excited to find out what's true for you, what's been happening in your life, and what distinctions you've had, because I want to gain from them. I want to benefit from your distinctions. So in answer to your question, Jessica, this has been a pretty monumental week. And I've seen stuff happen that's, man, it's just like, I don't know how to put into words, but it's impacted my mind, my heart, my soul in a big way. And as far as what's possible, as far as what happens when you surrender, to spirit, apart, as far as like when you choose to be guided by love, and yeah, it's just kind of, it's really put me in a different state. Like, I feel like I'm a different person now than I was a week ago in many ways.
Oh my goodness, you have to tell us more. What happened? What created that?
Yeah, so well, just less than 24 hours ago, after working on this book for 10 years, so after being with this master healer, traveling with him in over 200 cities, more than 21 countries, documenting thousands and thousands of like just profound healing cases, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Finally, yesterday, I clicked on the email that said I'm finalizing this manuscript, and there was so many emotions going through me. Like, I felt like nervous. I felt like excited. I felt super grateful. I like had flashes of like all the years and all the people whose love went into also supporting in this whole thing. I went into the moment where I was just considering leaving and going for silence for 1 month, for 1 year even. And right here, actually in this room, I was sitting with Jack Canfield. He was visiting me in India for a month. Jack and Inga Canfield, he's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, which has sold like 500 million copies. I was sitting in this room, sitting there, and I told him, I was like, Jack, I think I just need a getaway. I need to go for silence. I'm going to go for like a month or a year. And he looked in my eyes and he said, Clint, the world does not need your silence right now. the world needs your voice, and the world needs this book. They need it. Him and his wife had just finished reading it, and they knew that the healing journey it takes you on. It's like a sacred journey in which you learn to love yourself more. And actually, mystical miracles start to happen of love and healing just from reading it. And then obviously there's all kinds of things in there you can apply, home remedies and different secrets. But I just want to share one miracle or one just mystical thing. So here I am and feeling like this baby is going to be born, you know, and all that birthing excitement. And 1 week ago, I had no idea how to do anything with translation. No idea. I've never translated. I mean, I can speak a phrase. I can say I know how to say life is beautiful in like something like 36 languages. And I like languages, but I've never been a translator. I don't know how to translate a work or coordinate a translation team. But after our first global healing miracle, the global healing miracle experiment call, someone contacted me and she says, hey, I know about translation. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm called to help you with this. I work for a publisher and I did this. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. So I said, super. So we send out an email within 48 hours, Jessica, 48 hours. Now we have 33 people translating it into 25 languages. And I think I just looked at it. Now it's 29 languages. So a week ago, it wasn't being translated. The book hasn't even been released and already it's being translated into 29 languages. Isn't that crazy? So not only that, Jessica, but then this is crazy. I want to show you this too. This is amazing. So here I am in the midst of doing all the work that I need to, right? And I have my power cord, right, for my Mac, and I'm doing all the work. And then all of a sudden, I just go to pick it up, and then it just does this thing. I don't know, you can't really see it, but it just goes like this. So then the power cord, all of a sudden, I don't have any power. Like right when I'm needing to
Oh my
finish
goodness.
finish the website and do all this stuff. And I'm like, what is this, God? Why this? You know, and then I realized actually, I try and do everything on my own because I'm capable and I know I can figure most things out. But here there is like thousands of people wanting to help with this project. And why am I doing everything? So I just left it in God's hands. In fact, there was some technical things with the website I couldn't figure out that I thought I needed to do. One person just said, hey, I have an idea for this journal, this daily journal we can use as a part of this global healing miracle experiment. So he gave it to me. I'm like, that's awesome. Come on the leadership team call. He heard all the things happening. At the end of the call, he's like, you know what else? I'm actually a really good programmer and I can figure out anything technical and I'm good with communication. So can I help with that? I was like, oh my goodness, this is such an answered prayer. So I just told him the things I was struggling with. I went to sleep. By the time I woke up, all those problems were solved. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like, I just have to get out of the way. You know, it's like sometimes forces are working and then the intention is pure and people just, it's like spirit can animate us and activate us. And so we just had a leadership call. There's about 300 people that signed up to be leaders. And I asked them this question. I was like, what does it mean to serve? What does it mean to lead by love? And what does it mean to be guided by love? And through us thinking about that, you know, there's a totally different model of leadership, a totally different model. But people are just being guided by love into places that I would never know that they have this talent or they have this skill. And it's almost like everything's being orchestrated for the overall benefit and beyond my own knowing, like beyond my own intelligence. You know, so then I'm like, oh, wow, this is amazing. So I'm leaning even more into like trusting and surrendering, and I'm seeing it's working, you know, better than I could personally plan. And so it's leaving me in a state of gratitude, a state of awe. Although even today, actually, after finally having said, okay, it's final, the cover is final, the manuscript's final, start uploading it. That was like, I was on a high yesterday, but today I kind of like felt a little depressed. It was weird. It was like kind of like postpartum depression or something, you know. I don't know how to describe it, but I was like, wow, that's I don't know. I still can't make sense of it. But some kind of like a, yeah, just trying to work through whatever it is. But that's my update on what's new for me. How about for you, Jessica? What's new for you?
Oh my
Just
goodness, so much, and that I've taken some notes because you've mentioned some incredible distinctions and things to look at that can be so useful for everyone, right? You talked about how when it was time to complete something that you've been working on for so long, your book, your baby, right? And then it was time to press, okay, this is complete, I approve, let's do it, let's publish. Your instincts was, okay, I need to go hibernate, I need to go away, I need to think, I need to run away. And so often that happens to us. I mean, I know it's happened to me, my hallucination. It has happened to so many of us when we are just 2 millimeters away to make an incredible shift for ourselves and for those that we love and for other people. But there's things that get in the way, and we just want to go within. And that's such a beautiful reminder that what Jack Canfield told you, that people need to hear you. People need your gifts, your talents, your knowledge. They need to hear you. And for you that's listening to this, you're tuning in either on our VIP backstage area or on Facebook, people need your gift, whether it's just a smile. Just a smile can change someone's life. Whether it is a book, whatever it is, a project, whatever it is, don't hide and just go for it. And I love how you're talking about just get out of your own way, get out of the way, and accept help. So those are all subjects I'd love to touch on that are so powerful and so important, right? I mean, I think so. My hallucination is they're very important.
mhm.
And you lived them all in 1 week.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you say for people who are feeling that way? Oh, and then, oh yeah, I did want to mention something before I asked you the question. So my dad, for those who know, was in the personal development industry, he passed away a few years ago, and he helped millions and millions around the world, and had books translated in many, many, many languages. And he always taught me, he said, it is normal that once you have a big project that is something that's so important, once it comes to completion, to feel loss, to feel like there's, like what you're saying, like you're feeling whatever it is that you're feeling, that's normal, because everything that you've been working so hard, and that this has been like a purpose, this has been like where you've channeled your energy, and all of a sudden it's kind of gone. It's given away to the world, right? Is that what it kind of feels like?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's still so much to do, but at the same time, like this thing that propelled so much energy for so many years is now has a life of its own. It's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to help who it's going to help. It's going to go in exactly the right hands, touch exactly the right hearts. And I'll just get to hear about it, over the years for the rest of my life, probably. But there's something about just letting it go, and then, yeah, then it's like reorienting what's my purpose now, and how can I best be of service, and just kind of just trying to like, yeah, feel into that.
Oh, it reminds me actually. So Janet Atwood is one of my great friends, and so also mentor, and she's good friends with Dr. Pankaj Naram, who the book is co-authored with him, correct?
Yeah, it's about him. So in fact, I was just texting back and forth with Janet yesterday.
Oh,
She's going to be on one of our calls on the launch of the book. She's going to be on one of the calls, but the subtitle is A Western Skeptic. That was me. An Eastern Master. That's Dr. Naram in Life's Greatest Secret. So it's really about me as a skeptic entering this world and really challenging everything that I saw and not believing it and wanting proof and wanting evidence. And but Janet Atwood, she told me when I was on a call with her, she's like, I wasn't a skeptic at all. I loved it from the beginning. She's like, I was the opposite of you.
However, she told me the story of how she was at Dr. Naram's house, and he was packing away, and I'm probably going to say the story not the right way. But the general gist that I got from it is that he was packing away pens and pencils and notebooks. And then he was like, where are you going? And he said, I'm going to go away and write the next 20, 21 years of my life. And then he told her the story of how he had met his master, and how his master said, if you could have anything in the world, what would you want to be? And then he said something along the lines, I want to be a world-renowned physician, Ayurvedic physician. And the master said, write it down. And then if you were that, what would it look like? And he started writing, I would have taken the pulse of the Dalai Lama. And then he said, write it down. And then deeper and deeper and going into, and you probably know the story much better than the way I'm telling it, but he's like, I would have taken the pulse of, by memory, I think it was 100,000 people. And the master said, write it down. Like, what else? What else? Mother Teresa would have thanked me for my work. And he said, master said, write it down. And he wrote all these things down. He said, well, Janet, I have taken the pulse of 1 million people, or I don't remember exact numbers. And I have, Mother Teresa did come to thank me for the work I was doing against AIDS in the 80s. And I have taken the pulse of the Dalai Lama. So now I'm going to go and write the next 20 years of my life. So maybe that's the new chapter for you. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I love what you're sharing. That story has so many secrets in it that are so valuable for anyone listening right now. One of the main questions that Dr. Ram would always ask, which his master asked him, is, what do you want? What do you want? And so I'm asking myself that same question now that I am to this crux. And I have right now a goal in my heart that came to me as I did this process for discovering what do I want. But so leading up to the book launch, I still have that trajectory pushing through me. And then after that, there will be definitely a reorienting of, okay, what next? What do I want next? But I'm excited about some of the things that are happening. And there's more that I can't share right now, but maybe next Sunday I'll be able to share more of very, very exciting happening stuff that on a global scale can change life for all of us. And just seeing some of that stuff come together and seeing it orchestrated by, spirit, or however you want to call it, God, it's quite humbling and beautiful. Yeah.
How exciting! Oh,
how about you, Jessica? What do you want?
Oh, that is a brilliant question. For those who want to hear, I will answer that question. For those who want to hear what happened in the next week, because it sounds like it's a very, very interesting and exciting, make sure that you're signed up for www.hackmankind.com, and you have the first 1,000 people are signing up for free. So get your free access right now. I have to check with Peter. I keep saying that, but I haven't checked with him yet how many people we have signed up, but I know we're getting really close. So make sure you don't miss out on your free membership, because we will become paid. And so you can tune in to these panel calls, and you can tune in to Clint every single Saturday and join us on the backstage VIP area. And I'm having some comments coming in that Khalifa on Facebook saying amazing, and we have an anonymous attendees on the back end, one of our VIPs, congratulations on your book. And then has a question. To answer your question, talking about Janet Atwood, I'm a master trainer for the passion test. And one of the things that I do is I do my passion test. So I have my 5 passions, and how about this? I don't want to make it all about me, so I will share my passions on today's recap at 6 p.m. on Facebook. So I will do that. So I'll promise to share those, because it'll take a little time to go through my 5 passions and why 5 and why the process, etc. But I will share that. One thing that I'm very grateful for and that I really want to focus in is being present and being in joy no matter what. Yeah, that is one of the things that really matters to me. And I wanted
That's beautiful. I think you do that well. You do it so well.
Thanks.
It makes it enjoyable to be with you.
Same. I know loving what you do helps. It really does. Being aligned, I think that's one of my hacks, is being really aligned with what it is that lights up my fire. And it takes me to my question before I ask you the other question on the chat is, so right now you're at the stage of, okay, I need to determine what I want. I have the passion test that I love taking to get clarity on what it is that I want. What is it that you do? For those who are watching us right now, it's a big transition time for some of us.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting unemployed. Some people's businesses need to pivot. What is your secret into finding what it is that you want to do and your next steps?
Beautiful question. Dr. Naram, he had a process. So this ancient lineage, part of what they taught was how to discover what you want, how to enjoy, or how to achieve what you want, and how to enjoy what you've achieved. And there's even a chapter in the book that's called, the secrets for discovering your life's purpose. And it walks you through certain questions you ask, and actually even certain points on your body that you press. So you press certain points on your body that activate certain subconscious. So Dr. Ram says there's a subconscious, a conscious mind, and a superconscious mind. And when you activate these points and ask these questions, it activates all of those. So you're not, most of the time we're just in our conscious mind, but going to the subconscious and then superconscious, and you get clear on who you are and what you're meant to be. And so there's this whole process that he teaches, but this is probably not the right venue for it, but one place you can go see my TEDx talk, and in the TEDx talk, I ask 3 of those questions. I reveal 3 of those questions, and I show 1 point to press. And that TEDx talk is called Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. If anyone really wants to know, go to that and actually do that process that I share. And I'm curious, you can come back on next Saturday and tell me what happened, what you discovered.
I absolutely recommend you watching this. For those who are tuning in, TEDx talk, The Ancient Secret of a Master Healer, and you have your main questions there that we can ask ourselves to get more clarity on what it is that we want to create. Perfect. So I will look up that link. I'm sure it's on YouTube probably, and we can post it on the chat. One of the questions that we have from one of our attendees, Clint, is, well, congratulations on your book, amazing. How do you manifest people helping you with a project? How do I get there?
Great question. Yeah, Peter, we should ask Peter. Is he on this call? He's really manifested all of us helping him with this vision. Peter, are you here? I don't know if you are or not.
Peter's not live on the back end. I think he may be watching us, tuning in via the Facebook Live. I'm not sure, but I don't think he can come on camera.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I think that when you, I'm clear that this is my life's purpose, and I have an idea that this is why I'm born. I mean, I started as a skeptic, but now I know this is why I'm on the planet, and there's no better time on earth for this healing secrets to be revealed, because everyone is in a different state of mind, and people are either going to solidify in a state of fear, or they're going to see a different purpose, a different way of living. And so for that reason, this is the first time some people aren't even paying their mortgage. And this is the first time people are walking the grocery store and they're not sure who to be afraid of. It's like, whether it's like a contrived thing by the powers that be, or it's a real thing, or just something, like we're all not sure. And we have this, it's easy to feel fear. And then when you see people, you don't know who's going to infect you. So it's like almost being afraid of the boogeyman. You don't know where to be afraid, but you're just scared of everyone and everything, And here, on the other hand, was this healer who brought hope. And just by touching you, he understood what's happening in your body, your mind, and emotions. And through the healing power of touch, here we're all scared to even be 6 feet from each other, much less touch each other. But here was this healer that would touch. And in the touch was healing. We're afraid that in the touch will be infection. In the breath will be disease. But here's someone that lived in his breath, in his speech, brought hope, transitioned people, their minds, their hearts into a state of possibility. And through the touch is healing. And this book touches people in that same way. Although this master healer is no longer on the planet in the physical form, I think he's orchestrating things beyond what he could have done when he's in his physical form, honestly. And through this book, so many people's hearts will be touched and deep healing will happen. So by being clear on what you want, your purpose, like, then I think it's a magnet. Dr. Ram in this book, he says, when you get clear on who you want, who you are, it's like a ripple effect. Like you drop something in the water and the ripples go, and you become a nucleus. A nucleus means that, and you know, I just trust people are good and they want to be involved in a good cause. Someone they can, you know, people don't know who to trust. But if you're clear on who you are and you're clear what your principles are and you're clear on your integrity and they know they can trust you, I'm just shocked. People have surprised me and impressed me at a level that I can't even describe. You know, now more than 1,000 people have volunteered just to be part of the book launch dream team. I call it the miracle dream team. And when I ask how many hours do you have to give, so many people are giving 15 hours, 21 hours or more per week. You know, and to translate a book within 48 hours, to have a team of 33 people translating it to 29 languages, like that's amazing. So I think the way that I can only say that it's happened in this case is you get clear on what is that vision and how does it make the world a better place? And then people will naturally orient towards that and say, I want to be a part of that. And, you know, and answer that question, what things attract you? When you say, I want to be a part of this, I want to volunteer, I want to give, because giving money is only one way in which people pay a price. Dr. Ram says this, people pay a price in terms of energy, effort, discipline, you know. And so when people want to not just give money, but give their lives to something, it's such a sacred gift, you know, it's such a sacred gift. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but I think you get really clear on what you want and how it makes the world a better place. And then naturally people who also want to see that same change happen on the planet will say, I want to be a part of this. Yeah.
Percent. I totally agree with you. And I would also add, if I may add, in the past, I've had projects like that and not to the same level, but I'm thinking about a book translation. I've done that, publishing, and even just when my dad passed away, all the help that I received and I still do today, and the connections professionally is just incredible. And I think it's clarity. It all starts with clarity, as you say, Clint, 100%. And then it's also not being shy to talk about it, not being shy to share about it and talk about the purpose and talk about the mission and talk about the vision and see what it is that you want to be creating. It's not like you had clarity and then didn't give it any attention. It's you shared about it and people really, you know, loved it and you become a magnet when you're super clear and you believe in it. I have not had 1 second of doubt that you believe that that book will change the person who reads his life, and not only their life, but those they will interact with. You know that to your core, and that belief, people are magnetized, like people are drawn to that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And I also think people want to have their, you know, this was such a sweet statement. I talked about the man who had come and helped me with the technology stuff in the website when I woke up and it was done. I was like, I don't know how to thank you enough. This is like, I just wanted to cry. I was so grateful. And he's like, no, Clint, don't, I need to thank you because I've been praying that I could do something meaningful with my life. And you're giving me that chance. It's like, it's just amazing. One of the translators that's translating into French, she said something similar. She's like, you know, I'm realizing that this is one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to volunteer and translate this book. You know, some words, not exactly those words, but something along those lines of, this is a great honor to be a part of this project. And so as I'm trying to thank people, they're trying to thank me. And then I'm like, okay, let's just all thank each other and be grateful for that this is happening now on this planet, you know. And I am convinced that it's going to change people's lives because I've already seen it change people's lives. I think I shared on last call where I talked about how I thought I didn't have a story that mattered. And then when a friend convinced me, no, you have a story that changes people's lives. And I've seen it. now, and I know it does. And I know when people pick up this book, they fall more in love with themselves and more in awe at the miracle of life. You know, that's just inevitable. It takes you on that journey from being a skeptic. And I say, bring your skeptic, bring it. You know, even one of my friends yesterday said, you should start a skeptic challenge. So bring your skeptic. Skeptics are welcome. I was a skeptic. You know, if it's worth anything, it'll help resolve that skepticism in you. And it's not my responsibility to do it. If this has within it the power that it does, then it stands on its own feet. And you can come. You can be as skeptical as you want. I just say be open to experiment and to try, and then see what happens in your life. You know, see what magic happens. It's natural to be skeptical. I think it's even healthy because we're so surrounded by so many things that we can't trust, you know, or things that have proven untrustworthy. So I think it's only natural, and I think it's healthy. And so bring it. Bring your skepticism.
Bring it on. And one of the things that you did mention is accepting help, right? There was a moment where you just showed us your charger, and your computer charger is completely ripped apart. Like, you have no computer charger, therefore there's no way for you to charge your laptop.
Yeah, and I'm in India on lockdown, and this is an old Mac thing. So if anyone's watching and can send me one, thank you.
we will contact you via. So if you do have an old one that you can send to Clint, please reach out on his Facebook, Dr. Clint G. Rogers. But that gave you saw it as an opportunity to say, all right, what am I not seeing? What am I not seeing? And you decided to accept help. You decided, and you said, I accepted help. And all of a sudden, within 24 hours, I have all these translators translating my book.
Yeah, I think,
incredible.
you know, I think lots of times we think something bad is happening, but really it's just a course adjustment to something better. You know, there's a great quote that Dr. Ram shares in this book. He says, any challenge, obstacle, or heartbreak that we face has within it the seeds of equal or greater opportunity. So he had a journal that was called Problem Journal. Whenever anyone had a problem, he would get so excited, he'd write it in his journal. And the bigger the problem, the more excited he got. I never saw anyone get so excited about problems, because he fully believed that whatever problem people face, there's an equal or greater opportunity. And when he found a solution, also this, he said, there's no problem on this planet that doesn't have a solution. So he knew if he could find that solution, it's a big problem and other people have that problem, then how much good he did on this planet. So whatever problem you're facing, even if it's some physical illness, like, it's usually just the check engine light. Maybe there's something out of alignment. Maybe your soul isn't feeling totally expressed. Maybe you're not being totally honest to yourself or to others. And so your body is kicking up, your emotions are kicking up. Maybe you're getting frustrated, irritated, angry. Maybe you're feeling some physical ailment. But those are just little signals that, oh, something's probably out of alignment. Or maybe there's just even a better thing that you're never expecting. Like, I don't know, like having my computer snap like that right in the middle of this whole experience, right when I'm kind of isolated in the middle of a national park here in Mumbai. It's like, you know, so unexpected, but it really didn't faze me. Like, I was like excited about, oh, I wonder why this happened. I'm so curious. Like, Dr. Ram trained me well in this thing of, oh, there's some benefit. What is it? I just got really curious. You know, it was like, wow, this is really interesting. You know, I think it also helps being like surrounded by so many miracles that I know I'm swimming in like grace. But I believe everyone on this call is. It's just you don't know it yet. Some of you, many of you listening, if you're attracted to even listen to a call on spirituality, you have a lot of experiences in your life that are, you know, evidence of guidance. And maybe some of you just want to fine tune that even a little bit more. But I just believe this is that, yeah, everything is happening for us, not to us. And this is, you know, case in point.
Oh my goodness, I so am aligned with that. Everything is happening for us and not to us. And sometimes it may be hard to see it, and we need time and perspective. And at the end of the day, so many times where I didn't see it, it took some time. It took some time to notice it. And Thank you so much for sharing that, Clint. We're having amazing comments. Thank you so much, Amrutha. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. We're having all these little hearts pop up on Facebook as well. And Amrutha said, bad things are indeed course adjustments to something better. Thanks for saying that. And it's so true to have that shift. Sometimes we just need to be reminded. We just need that reminder. And in terms of reminders, I wanted to remind everybody, I hope it's okay I'm mentioning this, Clint. I'm totally putting you on the spot. Last week, you had said we are okay to get, with Hack Mankind, we were allowed to get like a first chapter or something from the book. Can you remind us of the link for that?
Oh, wow. Amazing. Yeah. If you want the introduction and first chapter, first of all, I just want to say, Amruta, I'm so glad you're watching. And I'm so glad that that concept resonates with you. And everyone who's watching, you know, really, I think we're safe in this experience that we're having right now, in these bodies, in this life. I think we're more safe than we realize. This is my concept that I came up with, so you can see if it resonates with you or not. But you know, I don't know if you've ever been, Jessica, in a flight simulator. Have you ever been in a flight simulator? So, you know, you can fly an actual plane, but if you're doing it the first time, it's scary. So they actually put you in a flight simulator. And in a flight simulator, you can fly in weather, you can do, you know, fly at night, you can fly in a thunderstorm, and you're just safe, you know. And actually, I feel like life, we're safe. But it's like, imagine you get in a flight simulator, you never take off because you don't want to hurt yourself, you know, or because you're so scared to take off. Because what if something happens? You're in a flight simulator, you know, you're so safe. And I think like in this life, we're encompassed with so many layers of safety. And so to take a risk is, I think, what spirit wants you to do. It wants you to find that thing inside of you that you really want to do. And it kind of scares you. And you're thinking, can I really do that? You know, it doesn't add up based on whatever I think my family will allow, or my culture will allow, or my religion will allow, or whatever will allow. Like, you get kind of scared. But I think like you're safe to experiment with life, especially if your soul is calling you to do it. If you're feeling guided by love to do that thing, then that is what's gonna make you feel alive and know that you're here doing what you're meant to do. And even if that's not the end all be all of your life, it'll lead you on a different path that will lead to something, lead to something, lead to something. You know, this is the last thing I would have expected is 10 years ago. I would have never expected I'd be here in India publishing this book on ancient healing secrets when I was such a skeptic of it, having traveled with this master healer from India all over the world, and then being on this call with you right now about spirituality. You know, it's like, what? How did? But I feel alive. And in so many cases, it was scary to make choices that led me outside of what was my comfort zone. But I believe you're safe. And so I just sharing this with hopes that you give yourself permission to open your heart even more to what do you really want. If you didn't label it as right or wrong, as good or bad, you didn't worry about what people thought of you one way or another, but you just decided to say, what do you want? What do you want? And now is the best time, as you're paused, as everything's paused, to consider that question. What do you want? What do you want? From your body, your mind, your emotions, your relationships, your finance, from your life. Because no day of life is guaranteed. But it's a guarantee we can do something great with this life. And by doing something great, we tap into that question. What do you want? So now, for those who do want the introduction and first chapter, you can actually go to either my Facebook or my Instagram page and just send me a message and just say, hey, you promised, you know, and then I'll give you the email address that you'll send to, and I'll send it to you right away. And I love your feedback. And because I know if you're attracted to this call, I just honor you. I just love that you're here now and watching this, that you're interested in spirituality and you're interested in how practically to live your life in a way that honors the divinity that's in you, the divine gift of your life. And so this is my real excitement and honor to give it to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, I love gifts. So we will be messaging you, Dr. Clint G. Rogers, for those who want, on Instagram or Facebook, and request for the introduction and the first chapter. And I cannot wait. And we have been promised that you will let us know when we will be able to get that book. So we're so excited. And it will be translated in so many different languages. That I can't wait. I can't wait to give it to my family in Portugal, my friends that all speak French. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you know, Dr. Naram's birthday, this master healer, his birthday is May 4th. So it's in 2 days. And on May 4th, we're going to have a series of live Facebook Lives, and we're going to announce when the book will be launched on his birthday. So,
All right.
you know,
So
just keep your eyes open. Even if you're on my Facebook page or Instagram page, you're for sure going to see it. In just 2 days, we'll make the announcement with this fun 1.5-minute book trailer video. And we're interviewing so many celebrities on that day, Bollywood stars and famous people. In fact, another miracle that happened. I don't know, Jessica, have you ever heard of Jay Abraham?
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, many people who are supporting this, you would expect maybe, because Jack Canfield just has a big heart. He's open to a lot of stuff. Janet Atwood is very open to a lot of stuff. But Jay Abraham is just very strict business, you know. But he's actually going to come on the book launch day and do an interview with me and describe what was his experience with Dr. Ram and how it changed his life. And if you're thinking you're a skeptic, you got to imagine how was Jay Abraham, you know. And so I can't wait for you to have that. But that's, again, another miracle. Like, how on earth is that happening? You know? So it's amazing. So many things are so cool. So I want you to be a part of it. And I want you to see more miracles happen in your life. And when you follow these principles, I think it's inevitable. You see that all of life is a miracle, actually.
And we all need it so much right now. We all need it. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for sharing. And it could be vulnerable sometimes to share our story and to put it out all there and put it all there out. I can't speak English right now. It's like a puzzle. You'll put the words in the right order.
Mm.
We have one final questions before we go. I'm conscious of the time, and in about 10 minutes we have our support calls just for our VIPs. So if you sign up at www.hackmankind.com right now, as I mentioned, you have free access. You will be able to have VIP backstage access to our daily support calls, and those are every day at noon Eastern time. So head on over there for if you want to just have a nice glass of water, a drink, a coffee, depending on what time it is on where you're at, and participate or not. Share your frustration, share what we've been talking about, or talk about the hack of the day, etc., etc. This is the platform for you where we're all there supporting each other, and we have incredible angels, part of the Hack Mankind team, to support you. So last question, Clint, before we go, how do you know signs are actually signs, and how do we know what they mean? Can we overanalyze signs?
Yeah, beautiful. Great question. Thank you for asking that question. Yeah, you know, I think that's such a great question, because I've had that experience too, you know, as a skeptic, where people are like, oh, this is a sign. Oh, this is a sign. Oh, this is a sign. I'm like, that's not a sign. It just happened. You know, like I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid and believing whatever you're believing. You know, I respect that you can have that experience, but it looks like you want to believe something, and so you're finding evidence to give yourself. You know, that's what it appeared to me. Like I was coming from that perspective of, I don't know why you're so excited about that. It looks like you just really wanted to believe something, and so you found a way. You found evidence for that thing. You know, so I think it's a good question. And I don't know who asked it, but I would ask you more questions. I think, you know, what does that mean to you when it's a sign? You know, and I think really the more you look inward, the most powerful signs come from inside of you. You know, and when you learn where something resonates inside of you, like if there's something that, you know, there's a way in which inside of you, you can know what is the direction that you're supposed to head, what is truth when you hear it, you know, something happens physiologically, I think, and also just in your heart, your mind, your soul. So just more and more you go inward, I think that's where you're going to find that answer. And I would say go to silence, even, find out who you really are in the silence. And then from there, decide what you want to do with whatever you see externally to you.
Thank you so much, Clint. As always, this has been such a pleasure. I thought I had a lot of sunshine, but you just brought a ton load more of sunshine into my life, and those I'm sure that are tuning in. Thank you so much. All the magic moments that you mentioned made me start thinking about the magic moments that are happening in my life, and I hope that you at home, you'll take the opportunity. Sometimes we don't take the time, I don't take the time to look at the magic moments that are happening, and I take them for granted, right? And so take this opportunity, write down in the comments what have been the latest, magical moments. What have been, it could be like the other day I didn't have power, and just the fact to have power and hot water, I'm so grateful for that. The magical moments, suddenly I'm leaving New York City. That's one of the things that's happening right now. And I put my apartment for rent, and right now the market isn't very hot, right? It's New York City, epicenter of the coronavirus. Not a lot of people are moving into New York City. And in the space of 1 week, I found somebody to take over the apartment. They're taking it over next week. I'm so excited. And they're such kind-hearted people. And we've been talking, and amazing. What a gift. Like just magic after magic after magic happening in my life. And I'm sure in your life as well. And you're watching us, tuning in. Just, do a little, like, write it down. What's the magic? Post it on Facebook here. Post it on the comments. Come to us next week with all the magic moments that have happened during the week. I cannot wait to hear. I'll make my list. How about that? I'll make my list of magic moments for next Saturday. And I want you guys watching as well, coming with your list of magic moments that we can share with Clint, and thank him for his shares, so that it inspires us to start seeing the magic in our life and creating it in our life. Thank you so much, Clint.
Oh, I'm already excited for next Saturday. I can't wait to hear from you all. So excited.
Can't wait. And we'll tune in May 4th on your social media. We want to hear when your book launches and hear all those incredible interviews that you'll be bringing in. And we will catch you as well next Saturday at our usual time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Clint, for being here. Thanks for tuning in, watching. And make sure to sign up, www.hackmankind.com. Any frontline responders, nurses, EMTs, doctors, teachers, firefighters, and police officers, you have access to our platform for free for life. That is our way to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you very soon on our next call. Right now at noon, we have our support calls with our incredible angels. Bye, Clint. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Namaste.